Unofficial or fan-made, we have many examples of alternative universes of Equestria that we know. Hey beautiful people, I'm Julie, and today we're talking about alternative My Little Pony universes and their stories. For that, I'll break this video in 3 parts, with the universes that we see in the show, in the comics, and the fan-made ones. So let's get going. The 5th season of the show was definitely filled with alternative universes, since in the last 2 episodes of it, we can see a bunch of them. So let's start with them. In this episode, Starlight Glimmer casts a spell that allows her to time travel, and with this power, she managed to stop Rainbow Dash from making the supersonic rainbow, and let me say, in the most creative ways. And with that, she made the main 6 never meet each other. This creates a bunch of timelines and scrambled universes in which the most known villains of the show conquered Equestria. The first universe that appears in the show is really colorless and with a beige tone, like if pollution was in the air. But we don't have many changes in this one. This is a universe where Flim and Flan got the sweet apple acres. Remember them? Back in season 2? If you don't remember, let me refresh your memory. These 2 twins unicorns tried to get the ponies' attention by challenging the apples for a competition in cider making, betting their own home in the competition. Yikes. And in this universe, we see exactly what would have happened if they had won this bet. We can see the apples working in the ranch, which now is some sort of factory, with all of them in uniforms. Very sad. And if you think that's bad, it's because you haven't seen the rest. Applejack explained that the Crystal Empire returned, King Sombra forced all Crystal Ponies in his army to start a massive war against Equestria. And to wrap it up perfectly, now the main 6 serve of members of Celestia's army. Simply bizarre and creepy thinking about someone like Twilight and her friends joining the army. So moving on, the next universe presented in this story is sincerely one of my favorites. The universe where Queen Chrysalis managed to marry Shining Armor and raid Canterlot. In this universe, we see the ponies created a resistance base inside the Everfree Forest, and they are led by Sakura. The visuals of this universe are pleasant. I don't know if it is because everything is so green and lush, but I like it. But definitely it isn't such a cool place to live, since you don't know if your friend is actually a shapeshift creature in disguise. It's creepy to think about that. But oh well, I think the main part about this is Sakura as a leader, using a magic sap to try to identify enemies. And we can see her in a more powerful leader side that needed so much more attention in the show. Now, the next universe also has its charm. Twilight ends up in a reality different than others. Instead of sun, everything is dark. And by that you can already figure who was the victorious villain. That's right, it was Luna, or I mean Nightmare Moon. As a result of this timeline being altered again, the 2-sister castle that resides in the forest is still up. What doesn't make much sense if you think about it, since when Twilight defeats her, the castle was already in ruins. Probably it was rebuilt? Well, now Nightmare Moon rules Equestria, and Rarity and Rainbow Dash are their followers. It's pretty interesting to see the castle that we're used to seeing in ruins all fixed up, and the uniforms were also a charm. Look at me complimenting the villain, who would have thought? The next universe that I'll show you doesn't make sense in my head, since at the moment in the show, he was the biggest villain and the last one defeated with humongous strength, Tyrek. He stole the magic from Equestria, destroying Twilight's home, but then Twilight ends up in this universe and we see him destroying everything. Yes guys, just him with his magic pointing to the ground and destroying everything. Like, sure, he is a brute, he does whatever he wants, but man, did he really had this work just to day in day out destroy dirt and stone? Normally the villains have some sort of purpose, not just destroying everything. That aside, this universe is the most chaotic of all, because he destroyed everything. And we can't even tell what is Ponyville and what's not anymore. It's frightening to see the power that this villain had and still has in this universe. Now, one of the fan favorites, and definitely the most fun universe, the one which Discord conquers it all, chaotic. in which we can see a pile of plushies of Apple Bloom, the princesses Celestia and Luna as clowns running around, and pies falling from the sky. Although it is just a glimpse of this universe, I think that in 5 seconds we can understand the situation here in Equestria. I wonder if this universe, Fluttershy would rule Equestria along Discord. I ship both of them. And just to be clear, where Twilight is in these realities, maybe she was captured, maybe she's still a unicorn, or ended up in a way or another becoming part of royalty. Comment down below what you think happened to her. Speaking of it, this next universe we see in the show is just empty. And actually, the show doesn't explain what happened there. But I wouldn't be me if I didn't come up with a theory, right? I think that I know exactly what happened there and what caused all this destruction. I know that you guys will laugh, but my answer to this is parasprites. For those who don't remember, parasprites are these odd creatures that look like an insect, and they appear in Season 1 as antagonists. The name parasprites is a mix of the words parasite and sprites, and they are a mythical creature that lives in the Everfree forest. In this episode, we see the destruction power of these little guys, only when they're hungry, but they're hungry all the time, and manage to multiply it at an incredible rate. So if I was to pick a cause for that damage to the universe, it would be a parasprite epidemic. At least in this episode, we can see these universes, and I think that we can all agree that it's one stranger than the other. And just so no one says that I didn't mention here, I will put Canterlot High here too. The universe where all the ponies are humans, yes guy, Equestria Girls is, do you like it or not, an alternative reality. Of course, exactly like the pony ones, but in which everyone is a teenager in a school. Don't question me, question Hasbro. Well, leaving the field of animations, we have the comics of My Little Pony, that for not having a heavy supervision showed some really strange things, and even spooky stuff from time to time. The issues 17 and 18, entitled Reflections, show exactly one of these parallel universes. In this comic, Twilight and her friends end up traveling throughout the mirror in Luna's favor, who saw her sister disappearing, and they end up in a peculiar alternative universe. In this world, everything that is good in Equestria is bad, and the villains that we know are actually heroes. Cool, right? When they enter the throne room, we can see some glass panels with some heroes of this world, and they are Flim and Flan, Derpy Hooves, Green Chrysalis, and Trixie, the humble, alicorn version. Imagine something like that. I wonder how would this Trixie version be? And us fans also like to create our own alternative universes. I don't know about you guys, but have you followed this new trend among the bronies in TikTok? It is basically to create universes in which a virus is spread in Equestria, and I don't even know if I can show pictures of it here, but for those who like a more heavy theme, it's super worth looking up. But hey, what do you think about this video? Did I miss some universes? Comment down below and don't forget to leave a like. Who knows if I don't make a part 2 in the future showing other awesome things of Equestria that reside in these parallel universes. That's it for today. Thanks a lot for watching this video, and hasta la vista.